Well, hello. That's as awkward as an introduction as I possibly could muster. It's evening time, and I am settled in to do some algebra with you guys. To-do list. Here we go. All right. Number one, watch this video. You guys are doing such a good job at that. Loving how you're actually watching the video. That's really cool. Number two, a surprise. What could that be? So I dug out my yearbook from my senior year. Black and gold. We were the Tigers, Northwestern High School, Maple, Wisconsin, very, very up north. And this is my senior picture. I'll make sure to try to get the glare right in the middle of my face if possible. That is not me. That young lady is someone completely different. If you're like, she looks nothing like that. You're right, I do look nothing like that, but that one's me. Right there. I once showed this picture to my students, and I had a kid say, oh, Ms. Nussbaum, you used to be so pretty. And yeah, that was kind of devastating. And then I was like, you can say the word pretty. That wasn't the part that was horrible. It was probably the used to part in there. But yeah. Anyway, in our yearbook, we had this thing where they would also have pictures of you when you were a baby instead of like a slideshow at the end of the year. So there's me when I was a little kid. I no idea what was going on in that picture, but lots of curly hair. And then up here you can see my hair is very straight and long, which happens when you don't dye your hair horribly once a year and completely ruin it. So that's your fault, I think. Not mine. Okay. Next thing we're doing. Surprise over. Well, all the happiness is gone from this video, so I hope that you're not looking for anything else nice, because you're not going to get it. It's just going to be dire and sadness from here on out. So, here, I'll help out. This is the part that will just be sadness, so we'll have to deal with it together. All right. Warm-up. Warm-up is finding out if this point is on the line. So make sure you take out your warm-ups and write this in the back of your notebook. This is warm-up number 3, I think. No one here to correct me, except for the cat, and she doesn't seem to care, like most things. Okay, so the point on the line. So to check if it's on the line, what you have to do is you have to plug in x and y into the equation, because it's a point. This line represents all the points that are on that line. And we're wondering if this is one of them. So if we plug it in, and if we simplify it, and it equals the same thing on both sides, we know that it's true, which means that it is on the line. And if it is not equal to, then it is not on the line. So I'm going to plug in y, or negative 13 for y, and for x, I'm going to plug in 15, and put them together. All right, let's see. Negative 1/5 times 15. I know that 1/5 of 15 is 3, or I could have just multiplied across and done 15 divided by 5, which is also 3, but it's a negative 3 because there's a negative right there. So that makes negative 3 minus 10, so on this side I get negative 13, and on that side I get negative 13. So the answer is yes, it's on the line. Hurrah. Amazing. It's really exciting news so far. Okay, warm up over. Hey, that's 3 things that we've done. Remember, if anything's going too fast for you in this video, you need to pause it, because you have those capabilities. The technology is in your hand and you can do it. I'm positive. I believe in you. Okay, so yesterday we started 5.1 notes, day 1, and today we're doing day 2, the second half of the notes. I thought I'd break it up into 2 pieces because it was a lot for one day. So let's get started. So let's see. This is 5.1, day 2. Oh, that's horrible. Come on. How slow can it possibly go? Alright, I think I made it. Alright, so this is 5.1, day 2, 417. Today we're learning how to write a y equals mx plus b equation given 2 points. Okay, so just like last time, got some feedback from a few of you that said that you liked this. So just like last time, I'm going to write out steps on how to do this. And at the same time, I'm going to do an example down here to show you how to do it. And we'll do the steps together. Hopefully that'll work for you. Okay, so the first step is to, if we have 2 points given in a problem, the first step is to find the slope. So finding the slope, we've been doing a lot together, which is just y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Did my kid use this? It's destroyed. Yeah, cool. Alright, fine. Okay, so the first thing we're doing is you've got to find the slope. That's y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2, and that will give you the slope. We did lots of practice on that when we were trying to find the slope earlier in last chapter, and you just took a test on it, so you should be pretty darn good at it by now. Step 2 is to plug in the slope into y equals mx plus b. Okay, so that's enough steps for right now. Let's go to the problem, which is to write the equation of a line that passes through (1.2) and negative 0.7. That's the first point. And the second point is negative 3.4 and 1.6. Okay. So these are messy points. They're pretty gross. But the first thing we've got to do is find their slope. So grab a calculator if you're not comfortable with positives and negatives and decimals, and you want to make sure you're right. Otherwise, just go along with me. So I'm going to call this point x1, and this point, or in this part of the point, y1. x1 and y1, that just means that it's the first point I'm using, and this is the second point I'm using, which is why I'm calling it x2, y2. And then we're doing the equation y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So y1 is negative 0.7 minus y2 is 1.6 over x1 is 1.2 minus x2, which is negative 3.4. So if you figure those out, you get negative 2.3 over positive 4.6, because remember, a negative minus a negative is a positive, which makes negative 0.5, which is much better than all of that mess was. So there's our slope. That was step 1 right here. Alright, step 2, it says that we need to plug the slope in to y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to write y equals mx plus b, but then instead of the m, I'm going to write this slope over here, negative 0.5 x plus b. Now this probably feels very similar to what we were doing yesterday, because yesterday I gave you a point and a slope, and we had to figure it out from there. And the only difference between this problem and yesterday's problem is that we didn't have a slope to begin with, but we found one. So now that we've got a slope, we've actually got 2 points to pick from. And it doesn't matter which point you pick. So just like last time, the next step is to plug in a point